The forest remembers footsteps and names. It remembers blood. Dawn had not touched Ugwu, yet the wood ahead glowed in a low red haze like lanterns held by ancestors beneath the leaves. Sound retreated. No birds, no insects. Even the wind was careful. Odo walked at the center of that hush, like a man carrying two worlds, life behind him, spirit before. He did not hurry. No true hunter rushes a path carved for the soul. Each step was an oath. Each step sank like a nail into earth. In his mind, thin as smoke, Kalunta's voice whispered, "Papa, I don't want to lose you." Ahead, red symbols drifted fireflies, guided by a god's hand. Not lights, instructions. They curved, threaded, and guided him deeper. Since the grove's trial, a faint ember lived under his skin. Shadows trembled when he blinked. Bark shivered under his touch. The spirits had not merely touched Odo, they had entered him. The forest knew. A deer froze and bowed. Leaves rotated like worshippers. Silence pressed on his shoulders, weighing him. The path widened, then narrowed until branches locked above like ribs. Darkness gathered. The air cooled. Then came a rhythm older than soldiers, older than drum. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. The grove warned, "This path will break you." Odo tightened his grip on the bow and walked on. The trees opened into a perfect clearing. Grass glowed like moonlight kept underground. There floated a masked dark Iroko, eyes hollow but burning. It did not belong to any man. It belonged to the path. The mask turned without wind. "Odo of Ugwu," it said, voice like gravel in a tomb, "do you carry fear?" "I carry my son," Odo replied. "And fear," the mask pressed. "A father without fear is a tree without bark, useless." The mask trembled, cracked, then dissolved into drifting dust. The red symbols surged. Odo followed. The forest's eyes old, hungry, whispered, "Every step toward your son is a step away from the man you were." He could not stop. He must not stop. The world folded. Trees peeled back into a ring. The ground shimmered like polished stone, though it was only earth. Power hummed in the air. At the center stood a figure Odo himself, not younger, not older, exact in scar and jaw except for the eyes, which burned red as ancestral coals. The shadow smiled. "You walked far, but every path leads here." Odo held his breath. "I know you." "You should," the shadow said. "I am what you bury. I am anger. I am hunger. I am the blade that cuts without asking why." Wind circled. Trees leaned like spectators. "You carry my face," Odo said, "but not my heart." The shadow's laugh was cruel. "Where was this heart when the Ata took your son? When your warriors begged? When Ninkem cried to the moon?" Odo's fingers brushed his bow. The shadow hovered its feet, not touching ground. "If you take my strength," it whispered, "you will break the war chief in one night. Save Nana. End the war. Become legend." "And the cost?" Odo asked. "Your mercy, your memory, your humanity. Small sacrifices. The shadow offers victory at the price of the man he loves most." The shadow struck. Darkness hit like a midnight wind. The earth cracked beneath Odo's feet. He rolled, pain shooting through his ribs, but he rose, bow in hand. The shadow drew a blade of night. Odo drew an arrow of ancestral flame. They fought in silence, not because sound was absent, but because the forest did not dare echo it. Every strike tore at his memory. Images flung into the air. Ninkem lifeless, Kalunta kneeling, Nanana chanting with the Ata, Odo old and alone. The shadow hissed, "Without me, you are weak." Odo's knees shook. Then, from deep inside, a stubborn ember answered. He roared and rose. "No," he spat. "Without me, you are nothing." Light opened in his chest. He loosed an arrow that spiraled like a burning serpent. It pierced the shadow's heart. The figure unmade black smoke spiraling, trying to enter Odo. He braced. The smoke struck, and instead of crushing him, it flared into sparks and dissolved, purified into strength. The clearing exhaled. The path brightened. The ancestors whispered, "Go, your son waits." The clearing faded. Dawn did not yet come, but the sky thinned like cloth pulled tight. The ember beneath Odo's skin now burned steady. Something pulled at him, a thread, a breath not his. He stopped. "Nanana?" he murmured. A figure stumbled between twisted trunks, small, bruised, and dust-bare. Chains clung to his wrists, carved with faint atta sigils. He limped forward. Tears had carved salt tracks down his cheeks. "Papa," he whispered. Odo ran and caught him before he collapsed. The boy clung to his chest with a strength that surprised even the spirits. "I escaped," Nana said. "The spirits guided me. They whispered paths. They made the guards look away." Odo held him face buried in his hair. "You are stronger than your years," he murmured. Nana stiffened. "Papa, the war chief knows you're coming. He said you will kneel before him in the end." Silence dropped like a stone. Even the spirits paused. Odo pulled the boy close. "Then let him wait. I kneel to no man." The path ahead brightened with an odd glow, deep orange threaded with cold blue. The land's heartbeat, ba-boom, grew louder. If your rage could wear a face, and that face promised to save the one you loved, would you take it? Tell me in the comments. Tanana whispered of voices. Voices that sounded like Odo, like Nkem, like strangers who felt like kin. The spirits had carried him. He had not escaped alone. Odo listened and felt the path converge, preparing him, sharpening fate like a spear. He set the boy on his hip. "Then let's walk it," Nanana said. Together. The forest changed branches like hands, roots like ribs. Nana clung tighter. The red glow ahead pulsed massive and slow. A cold wind brought voices wounded, not wise. Odo. Odo the hunter. Odo the killer. The air filled with ghosts who remembered living. 3 pale forms stepped forward, tall, mask-faced. Limbs bent like twigs. Their voices were vibrations, not words. You walk on bones. You breathe dust. You carry a child stolen from fate. Odefangs. Odo planted his feet. My son was taken. His fate is mine to reclaim. The spirits asked, "Do you know the cost? What breaks when the path bends?" One pointed at Nanana and spoke of Mark's flame, shadow, and drum. Odo stepped before his son. "He is marked by me." Then, behind him, a figure appeared, not a spirit, an older Odo, wounded, grey, one arm limp, hollow eyes. Nana was gone in that vision. Kalunta too, a burned hollow world. "I am what you become if you fail," the older Odo rasped. The forest fell silent. "You will save one," he said, "and lose another. You will win and unleash worse." Odo's answer was fire. "I have rewritten fate once. I will do it again." The older Odo faded like sand. The spirits murmured, "You cannot escape fate." Odo replied by releasing emberlight from his chest. The light shattered the phantoms. The forest bowed. Tanana touched his wrist. "Papa, I don't want you to become anything else." Odo knelt and pressed his forehead to the boy's. "I will be what protects you, but I will not lose myself." Short pause. The red path ahead now burned hot, closer, louder. The land's heartbeat was a drum in his bones. The spirits warned. Odo answered. The war of destinies starts with his next step. The red glow became a valley hidden, ember-strewn, ringed with carved pillars. At its center, a line of floating symbols formed a path to the Atta. Odo stood at its mouth, Nanana on his hip, feeling ancestors like guardians behind him. The sky rippled shapes of wings and talons above. He set the boy on the ground and looked into his eyes. "What you endured does not end here," he said. "But you survive." A deep rumble rolled through the valley. Crimson flames rose on the eastern ridge, the war chief's fire. Odo recognized it, the flame that eats memory. Kalunta stumbled into the clearing, breath ragged, then joined his brother. They clasped as if the forest might take them again. A boom cracked. Pillars shook. Ash rose. A voice rode the wind, carried like thunder. "Odo of Ugwu," it said, "you have walked the path of bones. You have fought your shadow. You have reclaimed your seed. Now, hunter, you face me." From the inferno stepped the war chief. Massive, bone-plated armor, glowing red, a helmet, like a skull, and an axe that drank moonlight. Nana trembled. Kalunta raised his spear. Odo held up a hand. "No, this battle is mine." The war chief laughed. The air froze. Everything held breath. He pointed his moonlit blade. You cannot change fate. Fate says you kneel. Odo planted his feet, emberlight in his eyes. I kneel only to the soil that birthed me. The war chief's laugh snapped into a roar. He lunged. Odo mirrored him. Two destinies aligned, two storms about to collide. Lightning carved the sky in the shape of an ancestral bird. The valley waits. The axe breathes moonlight. The arrow that changes clans is ready. Fate approaches like a stalking beast. If your child had been taken and you stood before the one who stole them, would you strike first or speak first? Drop one. Strike or two. Speak. In the comments now. Pause. If this story lit a spark in your chest, feed the fire. Like, share, and subscribe to Echoes and Thrills so the drum of Ugwu never falls silent. Turn on the notifications bell